Last week, I published a video about this guitar, the Kiesel Mark 66, and I titled it, Kiesel Made Me a Surf Guitar. And a lot of you, very rightfully so, pointed out that no, they didn't, because this is missing a very important ingredient when it comes to surf guitars. It's got single coil pickups. It has a fun, surfy offset shape with a fun color. It even has a maple neck and a 25.5-inch scale length to it. But it ain't got no wiggle stick. How am I supposed to surf this thing if it doesn't have a wiggle stick? This was part of the plan from the very beginning. I could have gotten this with a Strat style trim on there, but I wanted it to hint back at the original Carvin version of this guitar, the vintage 1950s, 60s, and 70s Carvins, which many of came with Bigsby's, and I've got just the Bigsby I want to throw on it. This is a parts guitar, project guitar that I put together way before this channel existed. I painted clear coat on this body in my parents' attic when I was essentially a college age kid living at home. You can see the texture of the clear coat on there. I had it in the attic hanging from a rafter, and every day I would go in and paint another coat of clear on here. There's all sorts of little kind of inconsistencies and stuff like that. I got this body off of Craigslist. It had a different neck on it, and I ended up swapping in a Mexican Fender Strat neck onto it. And doing the rest of this, I cut the pick guard and put a GFS pickup in there, and I got myself a used Bigsby off of Craigslist, which is nice and broken in, and honestly is probably the best part of this guitar. It's a really cool guitar, but it needs some help, and this is going to be my opportunity and excuse to start tackling this guitar again and get it up to what I consider snuff in the year 2026. I want to get it playing the way I want it to be. So anyways, I'm going to be pulling the Bigsby off of here and putting it onto here, obviously. So let's get at it. I don't have time to waste, and neither do you. I will say it's a little bit of a bummer to waste a fresh set of strings. There's like a brand new set of elixirs on this guitar. I'm not a huge fan of elixirs, but they're fresh still. They still got that twang to them, but I just got to have that wiggle stick. I'm actually very curious to see if this will work out, because Kiesel has done something very interesting with this design. The bridge and the tailpiece are actually sunk down into the body a little bit, and you might have spotted it, you might have not spotted it, but this Bigsby is mounted on top of a Vibramate. A Vibramate is a product that is a flat sheet of metal that's used to connect Bigsby's to the posts on stop tail pieces. So hopefully, these being a very intentional and creative design that actually drops the strings down to feel closer to the same as like a Strat style trim would on this, where the strings aren't floating way off the body, they're closer to the body. Hopefully that doesn't interrupt my plans. I'm being precious with the strings just in case I get to the point where I realize this won't work and I want to try to put them back on the guitar. I also want to take this opportunity to take a peek underneath these pickups. I should do a quick measurement on the height of this pickup. So what do we have here? We've got the coil wrapped around the magnet slugs with 2 bar magnets underneath, and then some sort of plate under here with some foam to hold it up. These pickups are intended to be essentially recreations of a vintage Carvin pickup, the AP6. That's why they call them the AP90. And to my ear, they definitely feel different than a standard P90. But I don't know if that construction is much different from a standard P90. I actually have a nice Luller P90 right here. Oh, look at this. This is a different construction, isn't it? I don't know if... I'm not an expert on P90s. I typically don't enjoy them. But this is a different construction, isn't it? The Luller doesn't have those bar magnets underneath. Maybe this is some model that I'm not aware of. Also, would this look good with cream? I could swap it to cream right now if I wanted to. Should I do that? I kind of like the black though. Let's do it just because we're here, and then I can change it back next time if I want to. A viewer sent us these Lullers. I forget who, but thank you. I'm using the covers now. I will put those in something eventually. I've got that that SX liquid that I've been thinking about putting them in, but I kind of want to put a humbucker in the bridge of that thing. So I'll end up on that project eventually. I know someone out there is waiting for me to finally wrap up my project with that guitar. It's coming, don't worry. Someday soon, maybe in the next month or two. And that does look cute. I'm not going to say otherwise. All right. Let's pull off that Bigsby. A fun story about this guitar is that I have to keep it forever because when my wife and I were dating, she was like, "Oh, my eyes are so ugly because they're brown." I was like, "Your eyes aren't ugly because they're brown. Your eyes look like wood." She was like, "What are you talking about? That's not a good way to compliment a woman's eyes, like comparing them to wood." And I told her the story of this guitar. When I bought this guitar used off of Craigslist, it was painted, like spray painted matte black, and it had all sorts of awful stickers all over it. And I paid like $20 for the whole thing. I got it home. I knew it was, a parts body because it had a Fender scale neck on it. And I started scraping away the black paint, and there's this beautiful piece of mahogany underneath it. But, you know how wood is when there's not a finish on it. It looks dull and lifeless. It just looks kind of flat and dry. But when I would splash some rubbing alcohol or some water on there, it's not any sort of liquid, I'd see that grain just pop. And so I was like, oh, it reminds me of that grain just popping, like a very kind of like translucent, spectral sort of wood. And so now I can't get rid of this guitar because, I used it to complement my wife's eyes when we were dating. So be careful, fellas. You may never be able to sell a guitar if you use it as a compliment. And then you'll end up married. I do like this guitar though, and I used it quite a bit in the punk band I was in at the time. The band I was in with Steve and my friend Adam. But boy, is it heavy. I've actually been wanting to take it apart and rework it a bit for a while. I want to weight relief it a little bit. There's some woodworking stuff on the top that I haven't been happy with. I might hand it over to a friend to run through his planer or something like that, and then give it a fresh clear coat on the top. I might try to recreate the hand brushed sort of look, or I might go a little bit glossier. I want to reseat the neck to be a little bit straighter. I had to have a Guitar Tech buddy recut the slots for the bridge way over to the side because the whole thing is just kind of wonky. I might even try updating the bridge. I've had the thought that it would be fun to push this in an offset direction because, of course, here I am turning a different guitar into a surf guitar. I want to turn this into a surf guitar as well. I could put one of the Gibson double creams that I pulled out of that Les Paul in here, and then maybe some sort of single coil in the neck or something like that. I don't know. There's some possibilities here to further advance the concept of this guitar. But yeah, weight relieving is something I definitely want to do because it's really, really heavy. Where's my scale? We aren't going to get an accurate reading because I just took the strings off. And the Bigsby spring just fell off. And it's also awkward too because it's an explorer shape. Almost 10 pounds. So not crazy heavy, but heavier than I usually play. I'll say that. Okay, so I got to take the Bigsby off the Vibromate so that I can take off the Vibromate and then put the Bigsby back on the Vibromate after I put the Vibromate on the Kiesel. I forget what I paid for that Bigsby, but I remember I bought it from someone as a Craigslist pickup in the Guitar Center parking lot. Man, hopefully I have the correct screws for this. This is going to be the part that just wrecks the whole project if I don't have the correct size screws, because I know it came with a couple different sizes. Moment of truth, here we go. That looks the same. I think we're going to be okay, right? As long as the threads match. Oh no. Oh no, the threads don't match. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. Do I have them in a box somewhere? If I have them, it'll be in this box. This is a box full of stuff that I've saved from various guitar projects going back probably 15 years. And there's probably a really good chance they're not in here, but if they were going to be somewhere, those extra screws, they'd be in here. This is why you save everything. This is the equivalent to finally finding a use for that one scrap piece of wood that you've had in the garage forever. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy that I saved them. My heart was about to be broken. Now I'm going to have to put a bag with the original Kiesel screws and tailpiece into that same exact box. Now with these being deep set in there, I'm wondering how this is going to work out. Will that be better for the Vibromate or will it be worse? As you can see, there are little felt bits underneath the Vibromate, so it's not metal on finish. Now another question and concern I have is because that bridge is sunk down into the body, are the strings going to be low enough for this to work? Or will they not get held down? It looks like they should work. It's not going to be, you know, a stiff angle of attack across that saddle, but it looks like it is lower. We're going to find out though. And this is a fun follow-up for anyone who's, you know, shopping for these guitars to find out whether or not you could do the thing that I want to do. If this doesn't work out, then it's going to be a less trim, right? Which I have. I have a less trim in a box somewhere. And I could put it on in this video if this doesn't work out. But I might not have enough packs of strings. I'm down to my last pack of string joys here. Oh. Where is it? Where did he go? Forever ago, I bought one of these, the Vibromate spoiler, which is supposed to make it easier to load strings onto a Bigsby. And I've just never gotten around to installing it on this Bigsby. This is turning into a big old commercial for Vibromate. I swear they're not a sponsor. I bought all this stuff. So how does this work? Yeah, that's got to be it. So the strings clip in there. They go over and then under, right? We're going to find out. I've heard that this does increase your range a little bit on a Bigsby, which I would not mind. Okay, moment of truth. Time to start stringing it up. Now, there's going to be people who are upset that I'm not putting a roller bridge on here right now, but there's something I want to point out before I string it up. This bridge does have a little bit of a rock to it on its posts. In my opinion, that's way more important for trim use, for wiggle stick abuse, tuning stability than roller saddles. That will, I'm hoping that'll be enough wiggle to allow all the strings to move the bridge with wiggle stick use. Similar to the way a Jazzmaster or Jaguar Mustang style bridge works, where it rests on thimbles and rocks with the use of the wiggle stick. We'll find out. Maybe I'll be doing another video where I put a roller bridge on here. Anything is possible, right? But I'm generally not a big fan of roller bridges, believe it or not. I run into an issue that I anticipated might be there. The brake angle from the Bigsby to the bridge isn't sharp enough to hold the correct pressure on the high E. Oh yeah, it just pulls right out too. It's giving me a buzz. The high B rings just fine. There's just not enough downward pressure on that high E to take that buzz out. I'll take a picture of what I'm looking at here. You can see just how shallow that angle is. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to detune the whole thing, then take the neck off and shim it so that I can raise the bridge up to get a stiffer brake angle across that saddle. I shouldn't be surprised. I kind of saw it coming, but I'm not stoked about it. It is what it is. I knew what I was in for. Now this is going to piss off a few people out there because I have a very Leo Fender approach to shims. A lot of people these days like to buy pre-cut shims that are very specifically angled and fill the entire neck pocket. I just cut up pieces of business card and stuff like that. I'm going to use the Vibramate spoiler card that I just opened up here because I think that'll be a funny thing to find the next time I open this up. Or who knows, someday this will be someone else's guitar and they'll open it up and see this in here and be like, what the heck? Why didn't you use one of the fancy wood shims? I'm gonna just put a little bit of card in there. If I bolt it all back together and I find out I need even more height, I'll do 2 layers of card, and so on and so on. I very rarely need more than just the one though. It usually does the trick. I'm often surprised by just how much more than one layer raises the action. There's a tiny little bit of sizzle in there, but that high E does sound much better now. Just a little bit more brake angle over the string saddle, just to hold that string in place so it's not buzzing on the saddle is all it took. Just a little piece of paper is all it took in raising the bridge to, account for that. Obviously, The action is still way faster than I deserve. But I'll probably be spending some real time off camera dialing in this guitar exactly how I want it to play and feel. But yeah, that seems like a success as far as dialing out most of that buzz. It still sounds like there's a little sizzle, like I said. It comes and goes. Does it pull out super easy now? It's harder. It is harder to pull it out, but if I was really digging in, I might accidentally pop that string out of the saddle with playing. I don't play that hard though. We'll see if it happens. If it happens, then I'll make adjustments around it some other time. So anyways, let's get to it. Is this a surf guitar now? Let's find out. I'm not totally sold on the cream covers yet, though I think it would do what I want to happen if I had a black pickguard, because then it would be referencing the vintage Carvins that this is based on, that had black pickguards and cream covered pickup covers. So maybe I'll be making a trip up to Kiesel soon to pick up a black pickguard for this, if they'll give that to me, if they'll sell it to me, if they'll allow it even. I don't know if you can pick up, spare pickguards or anything like that from Kiesel. I'll have to find out. They've got to be able to do that, right? They'll sell me one. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Let's see how that Bigsby works. So far, so good. No knocking, no clicks. I'm not hearing any pinging or tinging from the bridge or the nut. With just a little bit of use, I'm not going out of tune, which is always the goal. Big dive there. I'm wondering if, what is it called? The spoiler, the Vibramate spoiler, is giving me extra play, which some people say it does. Gives you more range for your wiggle stick on your Bigsbys. Nice flutter, nice and smooth too. Looks like I'm a little out of tune now. The strings are still fresh, so let's be forgiving. How out of tune am I? Not too bad. A couple of the strings, the A and the G, were a little bit out. Let's do it. Spring reverb time from the Surfy Bear. It's got that classic smooth sort of vibrato that you hear in what I'd call traditional surf. It's not wacky and wild. If I really pushed it, I could get there, but I mean, Bigsbys aren't typically known for having this wild, dive bomby sort of action to them. It's pretty good so far. Here we are in the middle position. Yeah, not bad. Neck pickup, might as well gliss again. guitar confirmed. It's doing it. Let's pull it back to a more subtle spring reverb sound. That needs tremolo. Do you want to dive? That's pretty great. It's firm, but I can take it where I want it to go. I've done it. I've turned it into a full-fledged surf guitar. What do we think? Those of you who have been trying to build a Kiesel in their online builder, either a Mark 66 or something else, does this put ideas in your head? Are you looking at their stop-tailed tunematic loadouts and thinking, I could put a Bigsby on there if I wanted to? I think it's a good move. I'm in this moment right now, I'm very happy with how this has turned out. The tuning stability seems to be there, which is something everyone always worries about when they're introducing a wiggle stick to any guitar. And in my opinion, that's coming from, one, that bridge rocks just enough on its posts to accommodate the strings so that they don't slide or bind on those saddles. They just stay where they are and then return to where they were. And just the quality of the nut cut. The nut is cut well enough that the strings aren't sliding or binding there either. They're either sliding or binding, but they're all doing it at the same time. So I'm not losing tuning stability while abusing the wiggle stick. I'm still, not really certain if I'm into the all cream plastics. I liked the contrast. But yeah, I might take a trip back up to Kiesel to see if I can get a black pit guard, because I think that kind of three-tone look complements this guitar well. Anyways, I could sit here playing this all day long, but you know what? It's gonna get featured in other videos. This is a surf guitar now. This is a surf guitar in my surf guitar quiver. I'm actually looking at this thinking, man, I can't wait until I play another Dinosaur Ghost show, because this would be an excellent Dinosaur Ghost guitar. It's bright, it's hot, it's fast, it looks great. It's got a wiggle stick on there. It is ready to go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me a rude and nasty comment. Support us on Patreon. Buy a shirt like one of these right here if you're naked, or even if you're clothed. You might be looking at the clothes you're wearing right now and think to yourself, man, I wish I was wearing his clothes. I know how that feels. You can wear my clothes because I'm selling them. So anyways, bye everybody. Stay grounded. Oh, and stay tuned for my journey with this thing.